What's up, guys? How's everybody doing this evening? What you working on over there, man?
Speed brake that don't work because the servo don't work.
It's just
Everything he touches turns to a bigger job of four.
Just another gremlin, man. That's all it is. Just a gremlin.
You're going to be married. You got a lot of things to do on that.
Got a lot of time.
I told strip it down, fly it, and then work backwards. That's what I do.
Yeah, take everything out.
That's what I do.
The motor, leave that, leave the wheels down, fix gear. Yeah. But how are you guys doing this week, man? We've had 10 inches of rain here in 2 days.
Was it 10 inches?
10 inches.
Dude, I know because the rivers are still just right under the bridge.
We've had cars stopped in the road, flooding. I mean, it's like, at what point do you not drive your car through that water?
I think I can do it.
I mean, you got a Honda Accord.
I finished 8th grade.
Just saying. But, so didn't get any flying in. We've got some major thunderstorms coming through here, and it's been kind of dark.
Perfect for the albatross.
Yeah, ducks, whatever. But hopefully this weekend if we're lucky.
It is. It's perfect. 9. It's a 9 with a 3. A 3 with a 9.
Don't jinx it yet.
I know. Well, I checked it. It's both Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, well, the weather guessers, they can't get it normally within 24 hours.
Anything right.
You're talking several days here, so let's not jinx it yet. But maybe you guys got some flying in. I hope so. But like I said, all I've been able to do is work on stuff, and we got stuff we need to break in so we can fly it. And
let's rock. We got a guest we got to get on. He's
yes,
chomping
we
at
do.
The bit.
We have got a special guest tonight, Mr. George L. Valverde.
He's the first time we've had back. First guy twice.
Yeah,
that's right. So he's got to be special.
Yeah, exactly. So hopefully you guys will learn something or see something you like tonight. But we're going to pull him in here, and you guys give him a big welcome. Let me get him right here. What's up, man?
Not too much. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. We might be a little wide open for you.
You know what I think every time I see George and I see him in front of all his airplanes in a shop? I think nothing but confidence. Look at him. Look at him sitting in a shop. Okay, he knows what everything is. Yeah. He knows what needs to work, what doesn't need work, which one he's going to work on next, where he's going to change the motor, how much he's going to change on that prop on the next one when he flies it. You can see it right on his forehead right now. He knows everything he's going to do. Look at that. He knows it. Yeah. I can see it. It's all over his forehead because the older you get, the more efficient you become at everything. You don't waste time. And that's why we can't hang around little kids and grandkids because it drives us nuts. I couldn't find a pair of pliers because my wife went into my truck and took out my pliers. I'm looking. Did you get my, oh no, it wasn't me. And then I look in the house. She's got my favorite pliers that I use every day in the house. And she said she didn't take them. Guilty.
So how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm real good.
Good. You look good.
He's calm. He's subdued.
I know he is. He bristles with confidence. When I see George, I see confidence. That's what exactly. I see right now.
Yeah.
I can ask him a question about anything. I'll say, okay, the F7, the Tiger Cat you flew, did you have any problem with your engines?
I'm sorry?
The engines you have on your F7, did you have any problem when you flew it?
No.
Tiger Cat.
Nope.
That's because you tuned them correctly on the ground, right? Before you let up.
Oh, I always check everything before it goes in the air.
See? Yeah. How many times? Once, twice, or 3?
Twice is enough. Because I already did the math before I started with it. I'm like, I knew what I had before, and I knew what I wanted to order. I basically put the same motors I put in my B-25, which I knew how they worked, what I was flying with. So it was easy conversion. I just wanted to go a little faster, so I used 2-bladed props in the same diameter. That's all. And a higher pitch.
And then you went faster.
Absolutely.
See? Yeah. There's a man with confidence and common sense. You can't buy people like that anymore. You can't even find people like that anymore. We're dinosaurs. I mean, you come up with a mathematical equation and you answer it for somebody like, how much faster will my airplane go if I put another 1-inch pitch on it? About 9 miles per hour faster. How did you do it? It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Right? All you got to do is put your phone. Go ahead.
Theory is one thing, reality is another.
That's exactly what it is.
You can see a mathematical formula you want, and it never turns out the way you think it is.
No, that's theoretical. But it's usually pretty close because wasn't it the right
module in the plane and let it tell me how fast it's going.
That's right.
Yeah. So you've flown the Tiger Cat.
Yeah. It's with the new motors. Yeah, I flew it. I actually I flew it at Ceph with the older motors, 260 kV SK3 Hobby King motors. And actually, One lost the magnets. I knew it was going to happen because I knew it was
Oh, wow. Really?
I knew it was going to happen. I heard it go by. I go like, time to land this one.
Yeah.
It was flying fabulous because I had completely rebuilt it. I had changed all the horns, changed all the servos, high torque. It just was flying phenomenal. I'm like, I don't get to fly it anymore. I got like 4 flights out of it. And it went by. I'm like, I don't like that sound. I landed it. And I go, I said, motors aren't supposed to have gears in them.
I've had the same thing happen to me. And I go, I better land it because I haven't landed it before. And it goes.
Yeah, same thing happened with Hobby King motors too.
That's it. I've had it on both sides too. And you can tell. And I pulled it all apart, and then I seen where the magnet slipped out of its little channel that they had deposited into place.
Yep.
Then I just etched out everything that was everywhere, cleaned all the FOD, and then slid a little epoxy in there and pushed it all back in there. And it was great.
Yeah, I did it, but it didn't work.
Oh, yours didn't work.
It's not worth killing a plane over a motor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, mine was just a foamy, so yours is.
It was just one I gave him, so you know.
I get all his crashed ones.
I got you.
So, what did you go back in the F7 with?
I went with the Dual Sky. They call it, I guess, Eco 5322 version 2, which is a 300 kV motor. It's 8-cell setup. And I'm swinging 16, 12 props on it.
Yeah, that's
counter rotating.
You know. So they counter rotate inbound or?
Yes, inbound.
Inbound.
Yep.
I know my F7 is nothing compared to yours, but it is a great flying airplane. I know that.
Yeah, well, this one makes you a little nervous because it's 32 pounds.
Yeah, yeah. Mine's not.
I know. You have, which one do you have? The
I have the Flight Line.
Yeah, that's nice. That's great. I've flown them both. The other 2 foam ones.
Yeah,
they both fly great because they fly so light.
Well, and that's the thing. The Flight Line versus the what was it? The FMS.
FMS.
The only difference is they had the nicer gear on the FMS. Right. I think you got about a 1/2 millimeter larger wing, and then it had the places with all the rivets, which didn't really matter to me.
Right.
But I've been very happy. I did change out the gear on the Flight Line model right after I got it to look more scale, and it's never let me down. I can fly it in the roughest of winds, which I do have a gyro in it, but it just flies phenomenal, man.
Right.
They're good fun.
That's one thing I tell you about my F7, the ESM one. It don't care about the wind.
Yeah.
It goes, okay, there's wind. It didn't notice.
Yeah, if it weighs 32 pounds, I don't
guess
it
don't care.
Yeah,
83-inch wingspan. It's heavy.
Did you keep it blue or did you change the scheme?
I changed it. Well, I did. I made it a deep blue, almost like a midnight blue.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. And I did it after. I don't remember what the scheme on it is. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I think it's Here Kitty Kitty. Come think of it.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I did the racing scheme, which is not really a warbird, but I just like it.
That's right.
Most of my planes have females on them. I can't help it. It's just
I get it.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. You can see the one behind me here.
Yeah.
It's got. Let me see it. I think. No, I don't have that radio. Oh yeah, it has a radio.
There he goes.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Okay, so that's what's on the P-47.
Okay.
And of course, let's see. Well, I used to have a P-38 with that one on it. Oh, I don't have it. I don't know. Anyway, but that's it. Just it's fun. It's fun.
I got you. So what you been working on lately?
Well, the 47, it got made in, I think not this past week, the weekend before. And as usual, I always find that the horns they give you are too short and it's just too touchy. And I even had the linkage all the way inside on the servo. Yeah. I couldn't go any further. I actually drilled another hole to get it closer at the field.
My goodness, it's probably hitting the case.
Just to make it smoother. And it wasn't enough. I mean, your standard servos are 3/4 inch. So I actually went with who makes these things? I forget who makes these. The Sullivan, the stainless steel ones.
Yeah.
1 1/16 inch. I have to refly it. I just changed them the other day. So I'll refly it. See it. I'm sure it'll be smoother.
Yeah.
Because it was just too touchy. It's just too touchy.
What do you have in it as far as power goes?
I have the GA6000, the Dual Sky GA6000, and actually I'm trying a new. It came out with a new ESC, which has telemetry in it, which is cool. I fly Jetty, so it gives me the RPMs. As a matter of fact, I'm pulling too many RPMs with it. It's like almost 7,000 RPMs. It's screaming.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a 4-bladed prop, and I got that from Aircraft International. And the new ESC is it's called the Summit 160X HV. Okay. But they're having to. I'm understanding they're having some problems with the F3 planes or something like that with the gear motors. Some kind of a software problem. I don't know. I haven't. I've heard some things, but I have to try it because I want to get the telemetry. It gives me a lot more information. I can learn a lot more from that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've got P-47. I've got flies really good. Most of the time, P-47 flies great. Well.
Yeah. 47s are always, to me. It's like a trainer plane for warbirds.
True. Yeah. Yeah, I was a little nervous on mine to begin with because it was not only balsa, and I was used to flying foam, and it's also gas, and I'm used to electric. So Wayne told me that day, he said, man, he said, just taxi it up and down several times. By the time it lifts the tail, he said, back off of it, get used to it several times. So I did it about 10 times while he was petering on something else. And I was like, man, I
just told him, just do it until you don't want to do it anymore. You're tired of it because it's just stupid. Because you just, you got to run those new neural paths, right? Up and down. Okay, here's the tail. How fast? Okay, a little rudder. Learn how to do it. Just go up and down until you don't want to do it no more. And then you're ready.
Yeah, and it did.
That's what he did. And you should hear his knees on the takeoff.
Oh, yeah. There's only one thing that drives me crazy about foam is people learn really bad habits with foam.
Yeah.
Because, okay, just cut the throttle and land it.
Right.
Really bad habit.
Oh, yeah. Well, we watched a guy do that a few Sundays back. Me and a friend were out there flying. Wayne was actually out.
What did he do?
He came in with his Futura, or actually it was an Avanti. And every time he'd come in, he'd drop in and he'd cut power. And the jet would glide, and then all of a sudden it would go plunk up and land on all 3 gears, and it would bust the nose gear out. And I'm like,
and he doesn't fix anything. Can you fix it?
No, this wasn't Bill.
Oh, someone else?
So after the guy actually fixed it and waited for it to set up, he flew it again. And I watched him. He did the same thing again. And when he's coming in, I hear him cut power.
What are you doing?
And I said, power up. You need a little power. And he blipped the throttle, but it didn't land as hard. But I'm going, man, you can't do that. I mean, and I can tell you a lot of these jets, especially the foamies, like the Futura, the Avantis, things like that, they tend to float really bad, even with no power. The Viper 90 does the same thing. They float really bad.
Right.
But when you get to that cutoff limit of floating, if you don't have some power, it's going to drop,
They call that gravity.
Yeah, exactly. And that Viper 90, it'll dip a wing on you in a heartbeat at a slow speed coming in. It'll do just like that, real quick, snap. But yeah, you're right. I mean, foam, it is a different beast, and you've got to fly balsa to the ground.
Yes, yes.
I mean,
I think it's hard to think. People, I always tell people when you switch, they'll show up with a plan and go, balsa, great. I said, you have to fly it all the way to the ground.
Yeah.
And they go, what? I said, you cannot cut the throttle and wait for it to glide. It's not going to happen.
No.
I've got planes that I could do that with. My 24 that was originally VQ, I could literally cut the throttle at a halfway of a loop around the field and glide it to the ground.
Wow.
But that's the oddity. It's 110-inch wingspan, 24 pounds. It just glides. It's a big glider.
Wow.
But that's an oddity.
Yeah, that is.
Another thing is I also make sure that a lot of people like to fly nose-heavy birds. The problem with being nose-heavy, you have to keep throttle into them to keep in the air. If you get them close to neutral, just a little bit nose-heavy, then they have a tendency to float a little more.
Right.
A B-17, for example, I've watched some of the videos of the other people. I'm going like, I can watch them land and go like, yeah, that thing's nose-heavy. As soon as they land, because mine I have to force to the ground. I pull the flaps, it is not coming down. It'll just basically just start coming down like this. But you literally, I will come off the end of the field, bring a loop, point the nose down, 33-degree angle, about 2 feet off the ground. I level it out and throttle back slowly.
Huh.
And then she
a lot of people drove it in the ground like a lawn dart doing that.
And she just rolls to the ground. And funny, this past Sunday, we had a crosswind, like a 45-degree, 33-degree angle, something like that. And I said, oh, maybe I'll land it on half, like takeoff flaps. That was a mistake. Scared me to death.
Yeah.
First time I've ever flown that plane, 9.5 minutes.
Wow.
Because I had to go around. Okay. I came back around. What happened? I want to land and it doesn't slow down. On takeoff, it doesn't slow down at all. So it touches the ground, and I try to get the tail to touch the ground because they left the nose over. I touched the elevator, and the plane went 15 feet in the air in a second. Boom.
Oh.
I'm like, oh God. And luckily, I'm running 490s, big motors in it,
Wow.
On 6-cell, half throttle, pew, took off like a rocket. Had to check my shorts.
Yeah.
Came back around, pulled the flaps, checked everything, put her down like she was greased in.
Yeah.
So my buddy Mark, who flies, he's a really good pilot. He says, let's not do that again.
Yeah.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Live and learn.
That's like Wayne with the, what is it, PT-19 or whatever, and he was doing 3D with that thing at our
Was
field.
I?
Yeah. I'm talking about the Army, the
L-19.
L-19.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wingtip to wingtip.
I mean, I was sitting there watching. I was filming it, and I'm going, "Is he 3Ding with that plane now?" And then next thing I know, he's stressing out because he's trying to get it back under control. But he saved it, man. And I'm going, "Dang!"
Video on it. Yeah, it literally. The CG. I've already had 10 flights on it, and for whatever reason, I don't know if the batteries moved. I don't know what happened. All I know is the funk wind was coming in a little bit 90 degrees, not a whole lot, but everything was just wrong. I came in to flare. A little bit of wind came in, grabbed the wing on the one side. You know how you just get a little funk right there, right? Okay, you never want to stab the throttle. You just gently work the throttle, gently. So anyway, for whatever reason, it went and it did this. I kid you not. I have dirt in the light on the wingtip on the left.
Yeah.
And then it went and did this way. I have dirt on the wingtip on the other side. I think I did it 2 more times, and then I caught it at the very end. I'm working the sticks and the throttle. I'm praying. I'm rosarying. I'm doing everything I can. And then right at the very end, I don't know if the wind calmed down or whatever, but I just barely saved it. And then we got a video of that. And I got on slow motion.
We slowed it all down in slow
But I
motion.
literally had to dig the dirt out of the wingtips.
Wow.
And I have no way how I figured out how I didn't cartwheel it. Because once that wingtip that hits, you're done. Pop, pop.
It's funny you say that because my B-25, I was flying in Palmetto, Florida at an event last year, and went flying in there and no wind, and all of a sudden this wind comes up. I'm like 6 inches off the ground, and the plane goes. The left wing just completely went up like 3 feet in the air, 95, and it was like, okay, I'm going to cartwheel this thing. Everybody goes like, you could hear people go, oh, and unlike what you said, just you could not. It's 28 pounds of plane. You don't just touch the throttle. All I could do is get it elevator up, level it out, and it went to the high grass and broke the gear out, but it was in one piece.
You saved it.
Definitely.
Everybody goes, oh my God, I don't know how to save that. There was a bunch of 3D guys go like, I'd have killed that plane. It'd have been dead.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I say it's luck.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather have luck.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah.
Yep.
We've, like I said, we've had some close calls, but man,
normal.
Yeah. That's part of it. Part of the hobby. Fine. I think that's what gives us the rush we have. Yeah. That's
So
right.
what's your favorite
stuff?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and that's how you learn because that's part of the process. Failure is part of the process. And
absolutely.
But if you can learn failure through someone else rather than mangling your own equipment, that's the key right there.
Like
but when you're out there by yourself, and you get kind of bored, because I remember doing this. We were bored. There's no one there. Hey, let's try this. All right. And you get yourself into trouble. You're right above the ground. You're coming in. You're all cocked like this. What do I do? You know how you like to push that edge, right? It's just the whatever you get. What is that? Adrenaline rush? Whatever you get off of it.
Yes.
Oh man, I almost didn't come back on that one.
Yeah.
Because we had a guy lose his turbine a couple of weeks. Well, it was about a month ago.
Oh,
yeah.
He was in the parking lot of the restaurant, way over that way, and that was not good. I wasn't there. I was in LA.
No.
So, but anyway.
But fortunately, he had enough sense to kill the power before he went in.
Oh God.
So yeah, and it was full blown turbine, man, and it didn't burst into flames or nothing. But I'm thinking he could have hit somebody, a car, the
people,
building,
dog, building,
fuel tank.
Yeah.
I mean, but
such is life.
Yep.
So what's your favorite thing you got going on right now?
The 47. I'm looking forward to put it back in the air. Yeah, I had 2 flights on it 2 Saturdays ago, and there's a couple adjustments. I put the decal. It was completely green when I had it the other day, so I've still got to do panel lines and all kinds of stuff. I detail it, weather it, but there's letters missing because I actually messed them up. I went to put them on, they were off, and of course how that goes. It sticks in the corner, goes out, and the other goes, oh, and that's wrinkled.
Yeah, exactly.
I say, Kelly, can you send me some more letters? I kind of messed them up.
Yeah.
So is that the one that you said you're over revving? You're revving it too high on the 4
Yeah,
blade?
it's too many RPMs. It's a 2010 4-blade. It's a real narrow blade.
This is the 1910 right here.
Yeah, that's a Zor, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that one. I think that's called. I think that was made by Engel.
Yeah.
Engel makes that one, and it's the thing with it is cool is you can run that 4-bladed prop and get. I think I was pulling 90 amps.
Wow, that's a lot. That's like
that's
a Douglas fan.
That's nothing. That DSC is 160 amp. The motor will take 130, 140 amps. So 90 amps for a big.
How long can you fly drawing 90 amps though?
Well, that's only full throttle.
Okay.
When I open it up, full throttle, it's 90 amps, which is really for a 60 size electric motor. That's not bad. Anything below 100 amps is good. So I mean, so when I flew it, we flew 7.5 minutes.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, flying an 8,000 12-cell setup.
Huh.
Yeah.
Man.
Higher voltage, lower amperage, longer flying time. That's how it works.
I noticed somebody was talking about yesterday. I saw a video and they're flying the new SMC packs, which are rated at 5,000, but they can be charged up to 5,900 at 4.35 volts.
Yeah, I know they up the voltage. Yeah.
So you can fly it as either a 5,100 or you can fly it as a 5,900, I believe it is.
Interesting. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. You can charge it either at 4.2 or 4.35.
Yeah.
So
high voltage packs.
Yeah, I'm thinking, well, why wouldn't you charge it to max capacity if you're gonna, especially in a EDF or something,
Well, an EDF because it's going to spin so many RPMs anyway. The thing is when you do that to like a regular motor, your amps are going to fly through the roof because it's going to spin faster. Everything's based on that voltage, and the higher you keep the voltage, the higher amps, the higher your everything comes higher. So
So your 47, are you flying it like on 8S?
12.
12. Okay.
Yeah, 24 pounds. I'm flying on 12.
And what packs are you putting in it?
What the heck? I'm using. I think the ones I have for that are just China Hobby Line 8,000s.
Okay.
Two 6-cell 8,000s. Tied together to make 12.
Yeah.
And like I said, I get like 7.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Because I fly a lot of the HRB packs, and the new packs in the red labels are about 48 grams than the packs in the blue label, and you're getting more better C rating. You're getting higher. I think I've got a 5,200, a 6,200, and now I think they've come out with an 8,200, and I know they got a 7,000.
Right.
But they're getting lighter. As far as the technology.
Yeah, they say there's new chemistry coming out. I've yet to see it. Over the years. It's just, I don't know. I just I stick with what I know, and as soon as somebody comes out with some, I'd love to get something, smaller with more capacity. Yeah. As far as C rating goes, I think I've had people go, I just bought this 100C battery on it.
Yeah.
And it's the same brand as I'm buying. Let's say we're buying a Z pack, right?
Yeah.
I bought 50C Z pack. And this guy buys 100 amp C, Z pack. And I'm like, wait a minute, put them together, exactly the same size, exactly the same measurement. I think somebody's lying about the C rating.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. We've
I know
got a
there's a gentleman. The gentleman that does this whole surveying thing and does all these stats on
Yeah,
YouTube.
we've seen the video. That guy's good. He lets you have
He's
it. He goes,
very
everything
good.
just averages
And he
out to
says
45.
they're all lies. They're just numbers they put up to.
Exactly what it is.
Yeah.
It's
And they all
lies.
keep doing it. Hey, as long as no one's getting in trouble, let's do it.
Right.
We've actually got a tester that Wayne had, and we put on
ESM meter.
We put them on the HRBs, the Turnigy high, the graphenes. We put them on the Spectrum batteries, and a couple other packs. And out of every pack that we tested, the most true C rating, which was 70 C, was the Turnigy graphenes.
I remember that. Yeah, I used to run graphenes. Then
Yeah.
they went. I had a good group of them, and then they went. I got a bad group of them. I'm like, okay, I'm done with that for now.
That's exactly right.
As I understand, the guy who was actually doing their batteries left Hobby King, went someplace else. Now he's back.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's back with
Musical
Hobby King
chairs.
because, Hobby King got sold and bought or whatever, so they're under new management or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It is what it is. You can't control none of it.
Nope.
You got to test everything you get. If it says this, trust me, it ain't. It's like the mileage you get with a new car or truck. Oh, this electric vehicle will go 600 miles. Yeah, empty with 500 PSI and the tires on flat ground.
Yeah.
Don't turn the air on.
Exactly.
You mean like driving in Florida?
Yeah.
That's I don't know.
Yeah. And hope you don't need a station somewhere.
I don't know, man. But if you took, can you imagine if you took every single advertisement that we consume every day on our phones, our televisions, our tablets, everything, I don't care what it is, from the morning to night, and you see how many people or whoever lie, if you don't get caught, you don't get in trouble, right? So it's not really a lie. It's a good intention, however they want to talk about it.
It's just exaggeration. They're not lying.
Mm-hmm.
So if you imagine if you went through every single ad and seen what was true, what was not true, what would the percentage be of lies at the end of the day that you watched all day long?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All I got to do is watch my wife's lips move. Lying. Oh, I meant to.
Yeah.
Good intentions do not get things done. You know what gets things done? Get out there, start sweating, pick it up, don't complain, don't come back in till it's done, and then we'll talk about what you did today. I don't like to sweat. Neither do I, but does that mean I like to eat at the end of the month, and I like to pay rent. I like to drive my own car. You can't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Same smell, different day.
So what's on your wish list now?
I really, for right now, I think I'm on hold. Finish the 47. Everything else is good. I'm just waiting to go to Bomber Field. Yeah. I don't think there's any events coming up before that. I don't think anything.
That's September though, correct?
Yes.
September.
Yeah, September. Yep.
Do you know?
I don't know if there's anything.
Mid-September.
I don't. There might be some local stuff before that, but I don't think I'm going anywhere specific. I can only take one big trip a year, and Seth is like, when I go to Hodges Field, it's like I go there 3 times a year, more or less. For Seth, I go there for Hayfee, and I go over there for another event that I get invited to. But I'll probably hit a couple of other ones in Florida. But Texas is going to be the big one this year. We're looking forward to that.
You weren't there at last year's one, were you?
I was there in 23.
So I just
actually flew I was there the first. I got the first batch of B-17s, and I wanted to bring it to Bomber Field and fly it there. I had made it to September 2nd or something, and I was in September. And then in September I was there, and I didn't even. It was the first release. Didn't even have all the windows in the plane. Taped all the windows off that I didn't have. Didn't have the nose turret. Didn't have the belly turret. So I'm at Bomber Field and I'm putting all these parts on, finishing it up, going crazy, trying to finish it up. And of course, I'm driving to Louisiana. I went to Louisiana, and my wing stand that held the wings in place came apart, and the wings got all scratched up. I was dying. I've still got to touch all that up. I've got to wipe some stuff off and repaint stuff because it got damaged in transport.
So
since then, obviously, I've modified the wing.
Do you pull it in a trailer? You put everything in a trailer?
I pulled the trailer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where exactly do you live?
Cooper City, which is just west of Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Okay.
So way down south.
You got a good drive.
Yeah. Yep.
Halfway across the country.
21 hours, something like that.
Yeah,
wow,
that's halfway across country.
Yeah, 21 hours.
Man.
Yeah. I mean, the longest part is, here's the funny part. The longest part is getting out of Florida.
Yeah, I bet.
Got to go up and across the panhandle.
Yeah.
And I remember going, hey, Louisiana, oh, look, we got to all these states in like no time.
Dang.
Yep, and we got up the next day and finished the drive, you know. It was shortest distance.
Wow, man. Well, hopefully we'll get to go this year. Wayne went.
Got to go.
Yeah, I definitely.
The people there are wonderful. They're friendly. It's a great place. I mean, I didn't ever realize. I went the first time when Tomas asked me to go, and because all it's on my bucket list. I'm not, you know. Oh, I guess I made somebody's. I don't know.
Yeah,
so, it was cool.
Well, have you seen Phil Camp's B-17?
I have. I haven't seen it in person, but I've seen lots of pictures of it.
Yeah, it looks nice, man.
Flies good.
Yeah. I told him I thought it was just a little nose heavy, and when I see him land,
it was. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, you could tell. And then I want to fix that.
He cuts back throttle, let it to sink. He's too nose heavy. That plane floats.
Yeah.
I have to force mine to the ground. When I pull full flaps, there is no bringing it down. I literally. You have to see a video of it, but I had lots of videos before. But basically, I just nose it down like 33-degree angle, 4 feet off the ground, level it out, bring the throttle back, and she just rolls in beautifully. It doesn't make a sound, not a sound.
Wow.
It's soft. It is such a wonderful flying plane. I can't express how well it flies.
Yeah, well, even Phil said it flew great. He said he loved flying it. Matter of fact, he's in here. What's up, Phil? How you doing, buddy?
He took some weight out of the nose. Well, about time.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, look, the man, when I saw his maiden flight and he took off of that dirt path, man, I thought, man, what's he doing? And he just went for it. I was like,
I know.
As soon as he got up in there, he said, man, this thing flies like a pussycat.
And I told him that.
Yeah.
I kept in contact with him. He, help him out whatever he needed to do. But it's such a soft plane. It's like my buddy Mark, he says, this is a trainer. It's not a plane. It's a trainer.
Wow.
And it really does fly like a trainer.
So where do you normally fly in Florida?
Amps. Aero Model is a Perrine. And then the other place is Delray. I don't remember the abbreviation, but it's Delray. There's a Delray RC Club.
There used to be a guy down in Florida that did a lot of jet videos, and he flew off of what looked to be a paved runway somewhere near an interstate. You could see the interstate nearby.
Markham Park.
Yeah, Markle Park. That's it, man. That was a nice place.
Well, it's really funny. I won't fly there anymore. I used to fly. It is 20 minutes from my house, 15 minutes from my house. Okay.
Yeah.
It's an asphalt runway. They take care of it, whatever. It's the first time I went to a couple of events. I said, "Oh, you're from Fort Lauderdale," and the first thing they said to me was, "Oh, Mayhem Park."
Huh. Okay.
Because the people there have no respect for anybody else. Wow. They just it's chaotic. I mean, people have been thrown out of there because they post videos of jets flying. You're not supposed to fly over the highway, number one.
Right.
Okay? And they've crashed on the highway.
Oh, dang.
The area is not actually big enough for a turbine in reality. Yeah. Because that's basically more or less the east side of the runway.
Yeah.
The west side of the runway, there's a road. You're not supposed to fly over the road, and they always fly over the road. There's another picnic area. They fly over that. They're not supposed to. Huh. So it's a little chaotic there. It's really too small a field for a turbine. Turbines cover ground really fast.
Oh yeah, no doubt. This guy normally flew early morning, sun up. You know what I mean? The sun be coming up.
I think of his name. He flies. He doesn't fly turbines.
No, he was flying EDFs.
EDFs. Yeah. I know him. Yeah. He videoed my B-20. He put a camera on B-24. He looked for his videos. He's got that under someplace. I can't remember his name right now.
Put up some really good videos. Yeah, he used to put up some really, really good videos.
Yeah, he used to. I don't see him much. I saw him here recently with an F-16, like a month ago or something like that.
Yeah, he would also film the what were they? Tree owls or ground owls?
No. Those are ground burrowing owls.
Ground owls. Yeah. He put those in his video first thing.
Always at the beginning of every one.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I haven't seen him do anything lately.
Yeah. He just did, like I said, I just saw him post like a month ago. He used to do a lot of video. He doesn't do much anymore. I don't know why, but
yeah,
super nice guy. Very, very pleasant.
It is a lot of work. It's time consuming too. That's for sure. I mean, so, but that place, from what I could see of it, looked like a nice place to fly.
Beautiful. It needs somebody monitoring who's doing what.
So
and since it's a public park, basically, so you buy a pass. It's like $35 a year. It's nothing.
Oh wow.
Okay. And Broward County maintains it. They have a gun range there. They have They have the flying field. I think they have some place in one of the lakes that they have like sea-doos or jet skis.
Yeah.
The whole area is a bicycle area, which there's a mountain bike area also that you have to have liability insurance to go in because people have been hurt really bad there. So it's a great park. It's just, it's just like I said, we have problems. I also fly at a local field here that's Vista View Flyers, which is the old Davy Dump. And it's just, it's 5 minutes from my house, 10 minutes from my house. But my big planes don't go there. I fly my little stuff there. The little foam planes, stuff like that. But I'm also the vice president there. And I go there just to visit my friends because I've known them for years. The guys have known me for years. When I first started flying, I flew there. Started with foam. And had a buddy of mine another guy was Mark. And he passed away from cancer a number of years ago. And he sells me this plane. He goes, "Hey, it's a balsa plane. Flying it, it's great." And of course, the bad habit, foam.
Yeah.
I'm flying along, and it goes into a flat spin. And he goes, "Oh, don't!" I hit the throttle, it spirals into the ground like a rock. He goes like, "You fly balsa different. You do foam. You could have told me that before." Before it would been helpful. After the fact, it helped.
Yeah, that's right. How long have you been flying? What year did you start flying?
Believe it or not, about 12, maybe 14 years.
That's it?
That's it.
Dang, he's way before his time.
So the bug bit him hard, is what he's saying.
Is that what happened? You got bit hard quick?
Well, the funny part is I was a big model builder. I built, plastic models and stuff like that. Had a great time when I was a kid. I remember there was a hobby shop in Hollywood. I'd go in there and everything was gas and I couldn't afford any of it. I'd cut lawns and collect models, as a kid.
Yeah.
And I built a couple of gliders. I knew when they were perfect because they would fly away. I'd never see them again. I'd never see them again. So I lived across from a cow pasture years ago. But anyway, I thought that would be cool to be able to, that's why I detail planes, because I used to build models and paint them, detail them, all the pilots, cockpits, everything else. Yeah. I don't go to the extent that Phil does. He does amazing work. Okay.
Yeah.
Me, it's covered in Monaco or whatever it is, and I'll just put lines in it and I'll weather it a little bit. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
I just care about flying it.
See?
When I go to fly, I was telling Phil, when I go to fly, I bring 8 to 10 planes with me to any event.
Yeah.
Myself. Okay.
Yeah. And
those planes get flown both at least twice a day, every one of them.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I went to I think it was E-Week, which was not in the fall. Okay. And the first time I showed up there, I had like maybe 8 planes. And there you have to have a spotter, which is really difficult because those guys don't fly in the morning because the sun's in their eyes. Oh, the sun's in my eyes. And the second one is, it's too hot.
Yeah.
You fly. What? 2 hours before the sun sets. Really?
Yeah.
The whole day. I think one day I flew like 37 flights.
Wow.
And the guys go, "You know what? We don't know, but if we hit the gun, we're have to give you the most flights we've ever seen anybody fly in my life." Half a dozen. I said, "My God, you're crazy. Thank you. Appreciate it."
God. Dang.
Yeah, I go to fly.
I understand. My record for flights in one day was 42.
That's a lot.
I know. I flew from sun up to sundown. I burned batteries.
How'd you do that? Because you had to have not.
There was nobody there. There was, but you got to be by yourself. I just wanted to fly. That's all I wanted to do. I had like 5 or 6 planes, just kind of like what you
have to be by yourself. I fly with a gag. I don't care who flies. I'm flying.
Well, that's just it. You have to. That's all I want to do. I just want to fly. I want to fly that one, that one, that one, that one. So I already have my batteries on cycle, so I know what's ready. When I come back, I can get that one in and go that up.
Paul out there.
My ducted fan. There's my this. There's my yak. There's my this. And everybody's going, well, how many flights do you have in so far? Oh, I'm on 40. 40 flights? What's wrong? I want to fly.
No, people go there to talk. They don't go to events to fly.
Because I'm going to tell you, I haven't seen him fly 40 flights since I've known him.
You weren't even there
because
yet.
every
you
time
didn't even join the club.
Every time I go, as soon as he gets there,
yeah.
Wayne, have you got this? Have you got that?
Yes.
Oh, let me go look in the trailer.
Yes.
So he's digging for 30 minutes in the trailer. And then he finally comes out, and time he hands that person that part. Hey, Wayne, can you think if you got a screwdriver that'll fit this?
Yes.
Wayne, hang on, let me go back to the trailer.
That's correct.
An hour later, I'm like, dude, you gonna fly or what?
I'd like to.
I mean, and then it's like, he's talking to somebody.
No.
And I walk over and I go, hey man, can you come here and look at this a second? Because I know if I don't,
and he's lying.
I'm never going to get him away.
He's lied to me.
I'm trying to save him,
Yeah.
I mean, but you're right. The minute you get there at the field, you back your trailer in, you're ready to get your stuff out and stuff. Here comes 3 people. You see them gravitating to you and you're going, don't come down here, please. My force field is up.
I'm not like that.
I mean, and it's like,
all the time.
I mean, God.
All the time. Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I don't know, if I'm putting a plane together, I want my mind here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, just trying to get stuff hooked up and everything. I'm like, people asking you this, but who makes that plane? Where'd it come from? How much is it? Blah, and I'm going, hang on a minute. It's like, yeah. It's
what I've learned to do with my planes is they're, rather than like doing servo leads and there's multi-connectors, I buy electronic plugs and connectors, and everything gets soldered and wired into place. It's one plug for the wing, the flaps, the ailerons in one side, and same on the other side. The power going to the motors, like the B-17 it would take me, before I did the modifications here recently, I bet it took me 30 or 40 minutes to put the thing together.
Oh, at least. Yeah.
Okay.
Like
I can put 15 to 20 now. I can put the plane together 15, 20 minutes. It's ready to go.
Turns into a job.
Well, and those multi-connectors are the bomb. I've got the Hanger 9 Beaver, the big one.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's on each wing of those. You just one plug on each side,
Right.
That is super nice, man, because you ain't got a servo lead for the ailerons, the flaps, and everything else, your lights,
Yep.
It makes it nice. But again, you got to typically take the time to solder those connectors on and do everything like it should be and get it all right. Most people don't want to take the time to do that either.
Well, I mean, I get it. If you don't have the stuff to do it, or you're not familiar with it, that's understandable. It really is.
Well, see, he's like the master solderer, and so therefore at the field, everybody wants him to solder this or that. It's like, hey Wayne, can you do this connector? Hey Wayne, can you do this wire? Can you
take my transmitter apart and switch this out? And solder this switch onto that switch and put it over there. I'm going.
Yeah.
Where's my sign? Where's my hourly rate sign? $100 an hour, and all of a sudden, whoosh.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, we enjoy that, but we like to fly too, and it's like the minute we get there, it's almost like you're bombarded.
It's nice. There are worse things.
The flying field is not the place to work on planes.
That's correct.
True that.
It is not the place to be changing anything. You can do a minor modification, but if you haven't done it, if you're doing radio work at the field, you're already behind the schedule. You're all messed up.
Exactly right.
That's not the place to do that.
That's right.
Yeah, well, that's why normally if we ever get the opportunity, we like to go during the week when there's not really anybody there.
Right.
And then we've got a friend of ours that's got a private field. It's where he flies his real airplane, and it's a nice runway too, with not only a paved area but a nice grass runway, and we can go out there anytime we want to and not have anybody around. I mean, so that's nice as well. Matter of fact, that's where we need to go sooner than later. You know what I mean?
Waiting on you.
Do some maiden.
I already told you.
We got so many planes to maiden, it ain't even funny, man.
We just need to do it. We need to stop this and start this.
Well, I mean, y'all's weather in Florida, I don't think has been as bad as here. I mean, we've had wind since last fall?
It's been bad.
Every day. And I'm talking direct crosswinds.
20 mile an hour, 30 mile an hour.
How many miles an hour?
30?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right across the runway.
It's every day. It's every day. And normally here in North Carolina, we don't get that kind of wind, especially this time of year. But it's been like this since last fall, man. It's been so windy, and it's southwest, so it's coming right behind us to your back, and then now we're getting all this daggone rain and thunderstorms every day. You know,
I see that in the weather. Yeah, in the news.
There are worse things like war.
Yeah, there are.
Far worse.
Could be in another place.
Can't even imagine. That would be terrible.
Yeah, Roy, come on out with your bulldozer and change our runway direction.
We just need to change the runway. We just need to add a runway. See?
Yeah,
there's a runway. You just exit like that.
Yeah,
we're in business.
Yeah, that's all.
You just got to buy another 5 acres.
Yeah, a lot of your nice fields have that too. You know, you got.
Ours is nice. We have 800 feet, 75 foot.
It is very nice, but I'm saying a lot of the nicer, bigger places have 2 runways.
Well, Amps has 2 runways, but nobody flies the north-south runway for us. It's pretty much where the helicopters go all the time. They fly over there. Okay. And for us to go change the runway, it has to be like, if there's 5 people there, we have to agree to go to that side.
Yeah.
The problem is nobody ever does. So we just have flying east-west all the time.
Well, do y'all have a lot of 3D people out there?
Not really. On top of that, with the 3D thing, since it's a private club, if you're flying 3D, you can't 3D when somebody else is in the air.
Oh, see that's a good idea.
There's a good,
because we talked about segmenting, like when we have our local events.
You can fly, but you can't hover over the runway. You can't do anything anywhere near where a normal pass is.
Right. We had a mid-air. We had a giant
events. Think about it. You go to events and there's the rules and regulations. You know, you cannot do low passes over the runway. It's because if somebody has an emergency, they have to land. So you cannot take that, cover that runway. You can go beyond the runway and do low passes there in the grass or wherever you're at, but you cannot do it over the main runway. That's always been the case. Yeah. But a lot of places where they don't do that. So, but that's what it's supposed to be.
That makes sense. Because a lot of these 3D guys, man, they'll get 2 of them up there at the time, and they're all right here in their face. Something
over the runway.
If something would happen with that airplane, it would come back on them.
Ooh.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be good.
I'll tell you. I went to the event in Palm Bay. I can't remember what it was called. I think it's called. It wasn't Hayfie. It was oh my God, Wayfie, West Coast Electric Flying Festival. Yeah, and it was a very small field. It was used to be a dump. You could tell they had a. Well, I guess grass is that I call it cow patch, the black material that stretches.
Oh, geotech.
Whatever that stuff was. I hate that stuff. But anyway, they had that, and I landed on it. It took off it, and it's short for this. On a flying B-17 there's trees on one end, trees on the other. Yeah. Okay, so I literally have to come over the top of the trees, dive down, land, and then go get stuck in the high grass and drag it out. But the amazing part was this field they got big. I mean, we're talking like professional 3D guys. And I'm like I'm waiting, they're flying, and he goes, I said, look, you guys don't mind, I'm going to fly. And they go, oh, we're going to land. I said, no, you don't have to land. No, you don't understand. We want to watch you fly. That thing is badass. Wow. So they actually said, they all videoed it. I was like, and they go, you believe the size of that electric thing? I'm like, yeah, 125 inch, 40, I think it's got to be 44 pounds. When I first put it together before all the parts went in, it was 43. So as a matter of fact, I got let me see. Oh, I got the same one that Phil got. Let me see. Those.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I got to work on those. I'm working on those. But again, I got to check the weight and balance everything out.
We've got the one for the T28 that Sean did over at Scale RC Engines.
That's it. That's what I have. I got those from him.
Yeah, and I modified it and put the wiring and the push rods and painted the little gold thing.
Hey, you look like Gilligan.
Yeah, and matter of fact, he did all the cockpits in this T28, which are beautiful. Beautiful. All the glass for the gauges, everything, the handles. I mean, it's got full cockpit on both pilots.
Yeah, I don't know if you can. Yeah, the one of the 47, a buddy of mine, I found a file on the internet, and I sent a buddy of mine who's a big nerd.
Yeah,
great guy, does electronic stuff, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah,
and he did the motor for me. Let me see if I give you an idea how big
oh man!
Look at that hole.
That's nice. Yeah,
that's a 6,000 motor. Okay.
Yeah. Dang.
Okay, it's massive. So that I would bring the 47-foot. See, I did the same thing. Wired it, detailed it, weathered it.
Yeah.
It's done. It's in there. Yeah. So it
Sean does some beautiful work. Matter of fact, he was at Joe Nall with his display.
Yeah,
and
they had some awesome.
I mean,
displays.
he had a radial that was massive with an actual prop turning on it on the display.
that's cool.
And he makes those for people. He's doing wall art now, like the silhouettes of different planes with clocks in the middle of them.
Right.
He's doing actual size machine guns that came on the planes that are full scale.
Right.
There's not much he can't 3D print now. And I mean,
how about a 3D girlfriend?
Well, I don't know about that. You probably ask him.
It's Japanese. You get those from Japan.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
As long as it comes with an off switch, I'm interested.
But yeah, man, it's amazing 3D printing what you can do. I'm watching guys now on YouTube print entire airplanes. Amazing.
I know, you believe that?
Yeah.
I've watched them do that for a couple of years now. There's a couple of guys that showed up at a couple of different fields I went to, and they completely 3D printed planes.
Yeah.
They started out small, they get really big, real quick.
There's one guy that's got a RJ 900, and he 3D printed the entire thing, and it's pretty big. And I think it was 150 print hours. And he prints it in sections and then puts it all together, and it's got retracts, and it's got two twin 70 EDFs. And I mean, on his maiden flight, he ended up crashing it because his wires were not big enough coming off the ESC to the battery, so it melted.
Oh, drawing too many amps.
Yeah, and it crashed. Well, he went back in, reprinted what he needed.
Another 150 hours?
Put it back together. Well, no, the whole plane was 150. Put it back together, and it didn't tear it all to pieces bad. Like foam would have been obliterated, and it was not bad.
Resilient.
And so he cut out what he messed up, reprinted it, put it back, put the decals back on it, and then went with like what he used, I think 10 gauge instead of 14, and flew it again, and it flew amazing. I mean, and looked great in the air, man. That's cool. So. Yeah, he's doing some really cool planes. He's got a really good YouTube channel. And matter of fact, the files for that airplane, he'll sell them for like $60.
Right.
So
that's the amazing part. You can buy the files is amazing to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, some of his planes, he gives you the free files, like for his Park Flyers, his P40, Mustang, stuff like that. He gives you the files. And you just put them on a thumb drive and carry them somewhere to a 3D printer and plug it in, and it'll run it, man.
That's amazing.
I mean, you just got to be there to take the part off and put a new part on or get a new part started.
More filament.
Yeah, but he's using PLA, and I mean, you can get it in all different colors now. So if you wanted to do, but like the printer that Sean used on the T-28 for the cockpit, it got all printed in color. So all of your switches are silver, your knobs are black, you got your red. I mean,
that's cool. The multicolored.
Have you seen this one?
No, I have not. Let
me show it to you. Hang on a second. Let me get you in here where you can.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Let's see. Hang on. Let me do it like this. Hold up. Well, can't do that either.
You're gonna show them you don't have any shorts.
Yeah, I see. I can see it.
That's cool. Good. It looks really good.
That's all 3D really printed. Everything, and it's printed in color, so you don't have to paint anything or nothing. All you got to do is drop it down in there and glue it in place.
Easy now, don't break it now. Don't excited.
I can turn it around to where you.
I see it. I can see it.
Yeah, he gives you all of the gauges.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
It won't come off.
Oh well.
That's gotta be pricey though.
Do what?
That's got to be pricey.
For those two cockpits with the sides, the levers, the gauges, the glass for the gauges, the seats, everything comes with it in his kit. It's for both things, I think it's like $225.
Yeah.
And I mean, considering the intricacy of the switches and knobs and everything,
impressive.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
It's not bad, really.
No, not really.
And it comes in a kit to where like the arm pieces by the sides are a solid green piece, and then the instrumentation cluster sits in it, and you glue it in place. So every panel glues in place.
Right.
So each panel has got all the switches and knobs done. So you just drop the panel in and glue it.
That's cool.
And then the gauge cluster, he's got all the stickers that you put on the glass, and then you snap the glass in place and just hit it with some thin CA,
yeah,
and it's done. I mean, what's that?
I agree.
He's crazy, but
yeah.
but yeah, he does some good work over there, man.
Beautiful,
Pretty
yeah.
Very impressive.
And he's using bamboo, a 3D printers,
Yeah,
and
bamboo, yeah.
you can run them from your iPhone.
Yep, I know.
You know,
I was looking at one of those myself, thinking about that.
We've got a guy here in town that teaches people how to use 3D printers, and I've thought seriously about getting one. He's got one and won't even learn how to use it.
I got the Prusa 3.
Yeah, he won't even learn how to use it.
I got work, man. Once I get retired, I'll be dead, so I don't have to worry about it. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Now, what am I going to do? I got to work, and then I buy my planes, and then I try to fly, and then enjoy, and then work always seems to dominate. I don't know why. It's just work 90%, play 10. That's something wrong.
Yeah,
I need to retire so I can make my medical appointments.
Is what it is, man. We all got our struggles, right?
Yeah, it is what it is. So, all right. Well, it's been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you coming on here and hanging out with us tonight. It's been nice.
You're going to go to Bomber Field, right? I want to hear it.
Yes,
I want to hear it online.
You got to go to Bomber Field. You have to.
Yeah.
Anybody
It
was
fun.
It's a great event. Like I said, people are great. Have a lot of fun.
I got to get
what I enjoy about Bomber Field is
the pizza.
convincing the gas guys that electric does not fly 3 minutes.
That's true.
That is a hard thing to do.
The funny thing about gas guys is you say amps and volts, and they're like,
yeah.
Okay, what do I do? And it's just crazy because it's the same exact thing. You got a fuel tank, it's only got so much. If you have so much throttle, it's going to fly twice as long, but half as fast.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I think I understand, but I ain't going to do that. I ain't going to go electric. I don't understand. It's really funny. The funny part is back in the day, remember there was no LiPo and it was all NiCads and everything was so slow.
That's before me.
Yeah, well, I remember because I started flying back in the late 70s.
Yeah, that's before me.
So it's like, everybody they throw it, and then it's like, this is all it does. Is everybody goes, yeah, right, someday, but just not today, right?
Right.
So I thought I would never fly electric. So we were flying ducted fans. We were flying the high, fast, all the super duper stuff back in the day. Bob Violette, he was doing, well, the max he went was 250, I think, with the variable exhaust nozzle. But anyway, I flew with Bob Violette, if you know who he is. You remember?
I've heard the name. I don't know who he is.
Okay,
yet.
well, anyway, he was the shiznit back in the day. He had all the high-quality stuff. But, so I had to leave for 20-some years because I had to raise a family, had no money, had 4 kids, had no life, had no nothing for 20-some years. I finally come back. I put my violin down. I finally come back, and everybody goes, well, you need to try this. And I said, well, what is that? That's a LiPo. I said, what the heck is a LiPo? I don't know nothing, right? Nothing about nothing. So now I have to re-educate myself. Wow.
Okay.
That energy density is amazing. Have you ever broken in and seen how there's 10,000 wires in a 12 gauge or even a 8 gauge? There's to bazillions wire because the electron travels on the outside, not the center of the wire, but the outside of the wire. That's why you got a bazillion wires. That's why the energy density gets all the way through, like now. But anyway, it's amazing. So ever since I found out what energy density was in a LiPo, I'm like, dang, I got to get me some. You ever heard of the F5B, the guys that race the electrics in a circuit? They do 200 some miles an hour. But anyway, it's all electric. Yeah. And they have all kinds of different ways of going fast. I have what's called it's a Formula HV, and it flies on 8 cells, 4.5 horsepower, geared, and I fly an 18-inch by 18-inch pitch prop. But it's foldable.
Oh, my God.
It's foldable, okay?
Yeah.
So you can only blip the throttle to it 2 seconds because it heats up so fast. So you just blip the throttle, throw it in the air. You can go straight up 100 some miles an hour and be gone in a second and a half. You can't even see it. The fuselage is no wider than the batteries. I mean, it's just like
a dart.
Yeah, and when it barks, it bites into its own vortices, and it's just amazing. So anyway, nobody knows what one is. I bought one because I couldn't believe it did what it did. And I'm out there, and first time I throw it, everybody's like, what is that? I said, just wait.
A lawn dart?
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it is. It's a lawn dart. I lost it for 5 seconds in the air.
Oh, God.
You know how long 5 seconds without seeing your airplane is?
Yes,
5
I do.
eternities, right? 5 eternities. So I lost it, and I know where it is. I either burped, I farted, I did something, but I know exactly where it was when I lost it. So I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything. I just focused. And I have some prism tape right on the leading edges, right? So I'm waiting for it. I just pull back throttle. I'm waiting for it to lose its energy, and then I'm waiting for it to fall. And I actually see the prism tape glistening. So so I can see it, but I don't know which way. If it's going to go that way away from me or towards me when I give it elevator. So I said, well, all I can do is just nudge on it and just get to see. And it was coming towards me. Oh, I was sheet white after getting that thing back to the field. You know how, you don't want to hurt anybody. You don't want to make sure
that's my concern.
The clubs, everything.
Yeah.
But anyway, when I found out about energy density and lipos, best thing I ever found. Yeah. Incredible.
For sure.
All right. Well, look, man, we're going to let you get to your family. We appreciate you coming here.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on again.
And again. And we'll definitely do it again. But
and then we'll meet up in Monteville, Texas in September, Bomber Field.
Yes.
You got to tell him that.
Yes, definitely.
You tell me that.
Yeah, we'll be there.
I'll be there.
All right, cool. We'll have some pizza.
There you go. Yeah.
Get a wedge.
Yeah, big pizza.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Huge. It is massive.
All right. Well, look,
the way they do it.
We're going to let you go. We appreciate you, and we'll be staying in touch in the chat. And thanks, Hugh, for being here. Thanks, Thomas, for getting you in here. And we'll see you again real soon.
All right. Appreciate it, gentlemen. Have a great evening.
You too, buddy. All right, fellas. Well, we hope you enjoyed that. Time flies when you're having a good time, right? Yeah. It's better than lifting posts that are 12 by 12.
Oh, trust me, I got that tomorrow. You don't have to bring that up. I was just starting to enjoy myself.
So some good busy work for Wayne to do tomorrow.
Yeah, busy
work. But we hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Get some flying in. Hope the weather doesn't get you down too bad.
It's supposed to be nice. It's been 95, 96.
It's supposed to feel like 100-some degrees.
Oh, it's going to be 108 out here with humidity.
It's going to be something. So
that ain't nothing. You just do it and move on.
I know, right?
Everybody whines.
But you guys have a great week. Blue skies, good flying, and we'll see you right here next week, same time, 8:30. And take care, guys.
Bring your girl.